Hi guys, I'm gonna do something different this time. I'm doing answer questions, go over other people's games, and review them. So turn this volume down and let's get started. These are people. The first one I'm gonna review is actually in my clan here, and the second. And there's one that's not. Let's see. This guy is a much lower level, so he's not been playing the game as long as, um, say, I have. I think he's actually about where I was when I first started making videos. I was probably even a little further along because I had mostly sevens, I think. But his name is Bunny. Hi, Bunny. Let us watch this. I watched this once, and I said he needed some better micromanagement and what else did I say? And think about cost effectiveness when it comes to his powers, because he was kind of wasting his powers. But we're going to review his game, and he'll be able to watch and point out each thing individually here. Bunny is the nod on the left, and he has the catalyst missile. And he has a decent start, but he's at a disadvantage because the other guy he's got a money advantage, but he's countering with the rockets, so he's kind of making up for that. Um, you know, still doing very good here, bringing in the other rifleman, but then he stopped. That was a mistake. As long as he controls 1 point, the timer's still counting at the same speed. Doesn't matter if you control 2 or 3. You should have brought those riflemen in to kill the rocket squads. Now, the opponent was not very smart. He brought the rocket squads right in between your 2 riflemen, so that was not bright on his point. And you're still building riflemen, he's still building rocket squads. He's not very bright, and your riflemen counter him, so, good work there. Now, this was silly, though. You had a rifleman killing a rocket squad. They were going to finish it off in another second with almost no damage to them, and you wasted a 90 Tiberium cost missile on it. You could have used that on, say, this APC or something. If you had taken it out to make sure that you got that platform neutralized so you could fire the missile, that would have been different. But the missile wasn't ready to fire yet. You took a rocket squad out a second earlier which is a 20 cost guy for 90 Tiberium. Not good. Anyway. You kill the rocket squad there. Now, again, you put a 90 cost. This one was actually better because of the timing of the missile. But cost-wise, was definitely not worth it. However, if you would not have gotten the missile, if that was what made the difference, then that was huge. The problem was you didn't get the missile. He got the missile. So you just wasted yet another 90. Now here you're building tanks. Good. I would have moved the tank on the top left there up just one spot to start shooting that APC. Just up a little bit. Because that tank would have easily taken out that APC. And you've got another tank taking out the bottom APC. You're taking out the pit bull. You've got him countered with these tanks very, very good. But you're still, you got one in between 3 units, and you finally move the other one up. Okay, but now that it's up, it should go over. Fight that pit bull. Instead, you have another one coming out and come all the way across, and you use another Tiberium missile. You had a tank right there and another one coming, both of which could have handled it. You could have even just moved the rocket squads over and kept the tank back. That way you had an anti-air infantry unit up front. You got the missile, but you wasted a third Tiberium missile. That's a lot of money already this game wasted. And he doubles up on your tank with 2 of his tanks. Now, here, rocket squads are going to do better against both his tank and his guy. And you put down another Tiberium missile. You've got units just 2 over that could have handled both that tank and that pit bull. You could have brought your tank along with it, up along top, bottom. There's so much you could have done there. And they're both just standing there. You don't need those 2 units on the back missile. At least one of them should come forward. I don't care if it's the regular tank or the rocket squad. Now you've even got another tank sitting back there too. So you got 3 units on your back missile. You need them forward. Push those units forward. And another Tiberium missile. And again, the timing might have been better, more useful, but all you had to do is what you did there. Move that tank up, neutralize it, you got the other 2 points. And again, you had a full tank still just below that one, so, there were so many options there. Moving your units forward, actually using them, using the right units. You were using tanks to fight tanks when you had rocket squads right behind them. Tanks are not good against rocket squads. Rocket squads are a much better counter to fight those tanks, especially when he's pumping out pit bulls and not APCs. And then, when he brings in the APCs, pull your tanks in over your rocket squads, like tell them to go past it or through them, and then pull your rocket squads back or something like that. You've got options there. Or those rocket squads are almost dead. They're at a little over half health, but you could have, if they had fought a tank and a pit bull, they would be practically dead by the time he built an APC, and then he's got an APC up against your Scorpion tanks that are still at full health, instead of one that you lost and had to replace and lost and had to, you know what I'm saying? Instead of one that was hurt and you had anyway, the money you wasted, though, that game, 4 Tiberium missiles that I noticed, that's 90 apiece. You killed, a rifleman for no point, a rocket squad, so that's 80 points you lost to the rifleman, 70 you lost on the rocket squad, and you would have, actually the full 90, because you would have killed that rocket squad in a second more anyway. That was completely unnecessary. That rocket squad would have done 1 extra shot on your rifleman. There's just, and even those tanks, 60-point tanks, using a 90-point rocket. I do understand that there are times when taking out that tank is definitely worth that point, especially if you got the money to spare. Then yeah, take him out, But a lot of those just seemed like a huge waste. Anyway, micromanagement, and I wouldn't have kept building that many tanks either. I would have built a few more, a mixture of things. Looking at your army, that's not your army, is it? Nope. Let me look at your army here. Here we go. So you had tanks, air, tech, riflemen, rocket squads, and buggies. Now, he wasn't going heavy on the infantry, so you didn't need the buggies. A few more rocket squads probably would have been useful, which would have made him need to build the buggies, making your tanks more effective. However, just more use of the one you had already on the map. And with all that extra money from 4 Tiberium missiles, that is 90 apiece, that's 360 Tiberium. You could have easily built your tech center for 120, that would have left you with 240, a cyborg, and still just wasted a rocket on something. Hell, you could have bought your tech center, a cyborg, your airfield, and then have, for just a couple more dollars on top of the money you had left, get out a bomber as well. Not that bombers would have been good, I think, on that because of the pit bulls. Yeah, they could kill pit bulls, but 60 to 40 cost you. Anyway, but the cyborgs definitely would have done amazing for you on that one, and you could have had cyborgs for the amount of money that you just threw away killing a rifleman and a rocket squad. Anyway, you get the point. So let's move on. Now, Spec Ops here has wanted me to do some of his. He's got quite a few. He's fighting higher levels there. He won that. Oh. Another thing, before I move on, actually. Bunny, you're using a barracks, a war factory, an airfield, and a tech lab. That's 4 buildings. In my earlier videos, I have said this before to people, you want to do 2 or 3 buildings. You don't want to do 4. If you do 4, that's a lot of extra money. You're just putting on buildings or units that you're unable to build. it really, really hurts your economy to run 4 buildings. You want to run 2 or 3. So I would suggest dropping one of your buildings. If you're going to continue throwing money away like you were, you could drop the tech lab. If you have the money like you did and you don't want to build the airfield, you could drop that. Honestly, looking at your stuff here, you've got good stuff coming out of your barracks, good stuff coming out of your war factory. I would definitely say it's between the airfield and the tech lab on what you should probably keep. That is a personal preference and up to you. I think your early game and medium game will be handled well by what you already have coming out of your barracks and war factory. The only question is, what do you want to do for your late game? Do you want to try to win faster with cheaper units and use those powers like you have been all over the board? Or do you want to, try to get out a second harvester after that first missile goes off and then go for big tech units? And that's completely up to you, the personal preference. You could even not go for a third building and just stick with the barracks war factory, throw extra units from those in there. With that hero, if you want to keep that hero in that deck, and she's a good hero, I would highly, highly recommend the chemical troopers. They'll be able to counter stuff like zone troopers, and pretty much any infantry. They will counter any infantry in the game. And at the same time, you can use them in combination with your catalyst missile to create explosions that cover a much wider area and can kill multiple units. Then you can take out air, tanks, pretty much everything with them, but only when you get your power. And it's still a 150 combo, so it's expensive. But if you go in, you kill a few infantry, and then he comes at you with a bunch of tanks to try to kill you, and you use your power to take out, multiple tanks or units, clear a field, bring in something small and cheap to take a point. By aiming at her clouds that she fires anyway. But now fighting against this guy that you were fighting against, I don't think they would have helped too much against the riflemen or rocket squads because he didn't really spam them after the beginning. He didn't play them smart anyway. And him being... Yeah, I don't think it would have helped too much with him. I think you did the right thing maybe by not going... I don't know, cyborgs would have been pretty fair if you went them. I think you would have had issues with them because they're higher level than his stuff, but you had a definite level advantage on that guy anyway. Anyway, so over to Spec Ops. Let's watch one of his videos. I've not seen these, so I'm literally just picking one kind of at random. Trying to find one where he's fighting a high level. These two, he said that they just played poorly. So let's do this one. He's out-leveled here. Ops versus Bear. I've not seen this one at all yet, so I'm going to just judge this on the fly. See, they both have a Harvester opener. That is good. But on this map, that is risky, because if you look, the Harvesters have to go to the middle. So rushing Harvesters on this map is extremely doable. Normally, I would lean away from rushing Harvesters, but going for some type of vehicle rush, or like he's even just doing it with laser squads, it's great. He'll be able to take out that Harvester and give him a huge money buff. He'll not only hurt the opponent's money, and going double Harvesters at the beginning, that's usually not a good idea. And look, he might even take out the second... No, he's not going to take out the second one, but he's definitely weakened it. I mean, that Bomber can come in and just finish off that second Harvester, and he's just... Ops has now got his own second Harvester. He's rolling in the money. Honestly, that second Harvester was completely unnecessary, Ops, because you just got 200 extra Tiberium. What are you spending it on? I mean, you've already bought an airfield, you've got 2 bombers, but in total, that's not 200, and you're killing more Harvesters. You could build all 4 buildings at this point, and a few big tech units. You got a big air unit out there. That's going to continue helping about that. Oh, you going for the base with that? I don't know how that does against bases. I think its reload time makes it not overly effective, but oh, yeah, hit and run. Now, keeping it at that top, once it reloads, you can hit both harvesters. That would be good for you if he doesn't bring up that bomber and switch it with his harvester. And, wow, instead he parked right next to your guy, which is what he should have not done. But you had moved your confessors out. The timer's getting close. It's important to get back on those bases. You need something on the bottom left. I would have moved a harvester down. And you're moving your confessors away from the base. Oh, it looks like you're practically giving him the missile. Yep, you gave him the missile. Should have put those confessors that were on the far right back up top. You should have had the others or a harvester go down and try to send something to the bottom right. But you are burning his base to the ground. He's not playing very smart, but he doesn't have a lot of options right now. Looks like the only thing your opponent can build is air, and he's got 2 harvesters that keep dying. So he doesn't have the money to keep pumping, and he can build war factory stuff. But, yeah, your flame tanks are just trashing him. You gave him a missile, but you've already trashed more than half of his health, so next missile wins. But the thing's not charged at all because you've got confessors just sitting there, not on it. Those towers, that one that you just placed was a good location for one. Oh, he Tiberium missiled it, and it was a good counter on his part. But that one on the bottom feels very unnecessary to me. Your confessors that are good against air and infantry are a good choice here. Looks like he's building his own. But because he now has that tank, you also need something that can deal with that. Your bomber was a very good option, so I think that was well done. And it looks like you got to finish off his harvester. Ooh, he's got multiple confessors, but you got flame tanks to counter them. Your unit choice is very good here, and you're going for the base. You're going for both the base and the missile. You've got this. There's nothing he can do at this point either way. Yeah. I do highly, highly suggest if you're killing the opponent's harvesters, sometimes killing the first one and then building a harvester is good, but you took out 2 harvesters. You had the ability to continue taking them out to keep the pressure on. Building that second harvester of yours slowed down your build to kill you. You probably couldn't spend your money fast enough that game. I think that was a mistake because it definitely hurt your gameplay. You still won, but it hurt your gameplay. And that's just something to remember. But other than that, you did really well with it. Also, that bomber, though, bombing his base with it didn't do that much. I don't know if that was a good choice or not. I think it might have done better, actually, doing good. Maybe damaging his harvesters or units or something. It does do really good damage against units and infantry and anything on the ground. But, one square, a little bit more those little square things against the base. I don't know. If you could do it multiple times, or if you were going to continue damaging, which you were with the flame tanks, so I could see the value in it. That's why I'm saying I don't know if it was worth a good idea or not, honestly. In the end, that 1 square didn't make a difference because you had the missile, but it could have been the difference, And sometimes going for it's important. It didn't hurt you to do it, so. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to another player. This one, wrong thing. Try to get to my friends list here. Terror. Okay, now he has his own YouTube channel. I think it's lowercase r, capital R, lowercase r. I'm very sure that's his thing. So do check his stuff out. He wanted me to show one of his. I honestly don't remember which one, and I'm gonna. I will call them back. Alright, match history. Let's see. I honestly don't know which one he wants me to look at, but I'm going to pick one here. Let's see. He lost that one. Do I want to go over one he lost? No, that might be me. Maybe he wants to show off how good he is. Alright, he got a good 24 medals there. 20 medals, 23 medals. Alright, let's look at his 24. That's where we got the most medals. So that's what we're going to look at. Because this guy that he's fighting means he's got more medals than him. Level-wise, Terror is at only a slight disadvantage. One of his units is 1 level lower. Everything else between these guys is even. So this is actually a very even match level-wise, with Terra having a small disadvantage. Now, Terra also has a lower level hero. So, I'm sorry, that's 2 levels total. And this guy's a higher rank. Yeah, this guy's a higher rank, which is why he got the 24 medals. Let's go ahead and watch this. Go, Terra, go, Terra, go. Terra is a part of the Ascendance Alliance. Seen some good players over there. Alright, he starts with the Rifleman to make sure he's not getting rushed. Then he goes for the Harvester. Opponent builds the Rocket Squad to try to defend his Harvester, which is countered by the Rifleman. But they're not engaging in combat. I think Terra is trying to rush to get out that the timer going as soon as possible. Got a second Rifleman out, so now he could potentially tear up the opponent's Rifleman. Opponent builds a War Factory. It looks like Terra went for the Air Factory. He moved his guy out, and Terra should have moved his other Rifleman down, but instead he's coming over with the Venom from across the map. He moved the Rifleman down too late. If he had moved those down earlier while the other Riflemen were fighting, he probably could have saved them and done more, or made them last longer, and done more damage against the Rocket Squads. And then he could have had the Air fight the Rifleman and keep his Rifleman back. The Air wouldn't have taken damage like it did against the Rocket Squad. But he's got rockets and air taking out that APC. The APC's not going to last long. Retreating the Air, very well done. Yeah, get the Air out of there. Venoms are good against infantry, and the rockets are shooting the wrong guys. And he's going for that APC with that thing again. He's going to have to run it away from the Rocket Squads, where he's bringing in yet another Venom, so 2 Venoms. And at the same time, he kept the thing neutralized, and the other Rocket Squad did not make it to the center point in time, so Terra got the first missile. And the guy's got 2 Harvesters now, and Terra is teaching him a lesson in that. He's doing some harassment of the Harvester with both Flame Troopers, because he's got no infantry, and he summoned them, and his Rocket Squad. While his other Air and Rocket Squads are trying to tear up that anti-infantry, bringing in some more heavy air to help deal with that vehicle there. Oh, we should get the Venoms on those Zone Troopers. Yep, good job, good job. Another bomber coming in. And even though it's taken 2 bombers to take that thing out, don't forget it came out of a tech lab, which was 120, and it cost the guy 80. So essentially it was a 200 cost, which he took out with 120. So he's still definitely the positive. And he's damaging the other Harvester now. Bringing in Rocket Squads and Riflemen. Riflemen try to deal with some of those Zone Troopers. I'm going to have multiple people to call back when this is over. And Venoms, Zone Troopers are really powerful with this last update. Honestly, he needs to get those Flamers out. He can't do that at this time because he's still recharging them. Boom, just got a huge money by taking out the opponent's Harvester, keeping the thing neutral by, constantly throwing air on it. Although, honestly, he could let it build up. If he took his guy off, get something along the bottom, get something ready to go up top, and to neutralize it at the same time, he could let the opponent build up the timer and then take it over. But he's not doing that. He's still just working on those Zone Troopers and trying to constantly pause the timer. I disagree with that tactic. Like I said, and he got a missile up against him. If he could have just held back that 1 unit, got out those 3, and then taken the bottom right, the top left simultaneously, and even with no chance of winning, neutralized the center one, he would have already won at this point. But he's now taken out another Harvester. The opponent doesn't look like he's playing anymore. Honestly, I think he desynced. It's probably a bad game for me to show you guys. I'm sorry. Because, yeah, I feel confident that the opponent desynced. He's been sitting there for a long time, not rebuilding his Harvesters, not building any more units. Yeah, Terra's won this over desync. This guy was Joe Longo. Let's not watch that one again anymore. We're done with that. Let's look at one of his other victories. You know what? Let's go and look at this one here. And I wasn't going to because it's only plus 15, so the guy's a lower rank. But looking at the unit levels, this guy's 989,778, where Terra's running 888,768. So, I mean, with the 9s, this guy has a huge advantage over him, unit level-wise. I mean, just looking at their units, this guy should have beaten Terra, but he lost. Blah, 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 blah from Giant. Okay. Not a name we need to be saying on YouTube. This map. I have a love-hate relationship with this map. Just the way the Tiberium is placed all over the place. I kind of like it, but the fact that because of that and the rocks, there's almost no way across. Like right there, he had to, the guy on the bottom left, not Terra, but blah blah, had to send his rocket squads through the Tiberium and take a little damage. I mean, it's minuscule damage, but just the fact they do is, they have to, is annoying to get down there and defend. And he did. He defended against the rush, and he's got rocket squads out now, and Terror's kind of in trouble, but he's built multiple Venoms, which combined can deal with those rocket squads 2-on-1 very effectively. See if that's what he actually does. Looks like he is. Brings in the full health one first. That was a good choice. 2-on-1, taking him out. Now he's got a third one. He can repeat process again. Bringing him down. Bringing him down. 3-on-1, very well done. And bringing it down, focusing on the rocket squad, doing a great job here. Finishing off the rifleman with the other one. He should have honestly built another Venom, though, because the guy just kept pumping out the rocket squads. Oh, but actually building that bomber, which can fight air, is going to turn out to be in his favor because the guy built an airfield. I did not see the airfield. I got my little bubble over it. So yeah, no, he did do the right thing. Scratch that. The opponent now has 2 harvesters, so he needs to keep building some bombers for harvester harassment while watching out for more rocket squads if need be. Turn around, build more Venoms. Man, this is like an air-only battle at this point. I'm surprised the opponent's not building more infantry. Okay, you should pull that other bomber away. Nope, he pushed it in. Okay, I think that was a mistake. The reason I say he should have pulled away, if he pulled away toward the harvester, waited for the opponent to come to him, he would have got the defensive advantage, and he could have damaged that harvester. And with the defensive advantage, he probably could have killed it instead of having it kill him, or at least done more damage. He's got rocket squads, though. Switching up to rockets was a good choice, especially when your opponent's doing only air. Yes, they're air that are good against infantry, but he'll be able to fight them pretty effectively one-on-one with the rockets for a cheap cost. 20s versus 30s. Even if he's losing, he's saving Tiberium to turn around and build his bombers, which are 60s. And those can actually win the other way, where the opponent's bombers can't fight air. So, 2v1s are very important at this point because of, the units are more like straight-up counters. Like they're equal, not overpowering. And also he was going for 2 points, which allowed him to fire that missile for the game. Very well done. Man, that was just air battle royale for a while. It was a good match, but an interesting one. All right. And let's see if I have anything on mine. Match history. Yeah, that guy was a lower level. Well, he's got higher level units, though. That guy was just a much higher level. Let's, I totally don't remember this. Oh, yeah, I was playing that hero just for the dailies. Let's see how it goes. Judge myself once. Like I said, metal-wise, I should have beaten this guy. Unit-wise, I should have lost to this guy. So, cover up space. I went for my harvester first, a rifleman to defend. A lot of you are thinking, wait, why are you defending with a rifleman and not a rocket squad? There's a good reason for that. Nod will usually rush with the vehicles. GDI is more likely to rush with the jump jet troopers, which are an infantry unit. The rifleman squad countered them. Also, they give me more sight. So if he's coming with a predator, I'll see it way in time and be able to not only try to block it off and slow its progress, but give me time to build not 1 but 2 rocket squads. So now I see that he's going for vehicles, so I have tanks. I did some bad micromanagement there. I should have had the tank go up sooner and move the rifleman back down. But I did not make that. His APC got my rifleman. I moved my rifleman forward to see what was going on, get more, line of sight. Got a tank going in there. And he's trying to send an APC to fight my other tank. I think he thought it was the same one. I'm just trying to get a way to hold spot, and I see the rocket squads coming. I'm trying to avoid them, and then I move back. Now here's what I do. That was great. I got him to target my vehicle, which is anti-infantry, and then I brought my tank back to try to finish them off, which I do. I killed the rocket squad with a tank. He managed to get my tank up top, though. I wasn't paying close enough attention to that. I was micromanaging on the bottom. That was poor of me. And I've got my flamers just trying to stall. That was the point. Just stall up top, stall the bottom left, win with the right. He got there a little too late. I got some rocket squads to try to deal with his air, some riflemen to try to deal with his rocket squads. My tank's trying to kill his APC and head toward his harvester at the same time, if I recall correctly. Killed one of his rocket squads, the other one's running away. I'm chasing it, holding that point. Notice that I actually did not win on the bottom right, and now I'm blocked off by a tank of his, so I'm in trouble along the bottom right and the bottom left at this point. But I had stopped building. I was too busy micromanaging some stuff. Got an area to take out his, which is also something that can counter that tank, and I was sitting another tank on down, bringing my air around to deal with the tank, my tank down to deal with his APC, and he's got an APC. He's going to win up top, but I'm hoping that my bomber will turn that around. And he won the bottom left. Sending my tank in to... Oh, I'm sending my tank in to die. See, that's something important. If you have a low-level unit, I want to replace that unit, so I sent it in to die. He comes in with rocket squads, I go back. Because I wanted that tank to die. Now I'm bringing in my bomber to finish off his tank, claim the bottom left. I've got flamers to kill his riflemen, hold up the top, and I'm more worried about the point at this point. You know, I've got the bomber on the right moving up to help deal with the APC. I've got the Venom holding the bottom right. Boom. Second missile. There are times when you want those units to die so you can get a fresh unit out. And that fresh unit can help you win the game. It's important to know when to sacrifice your units. And like I said, I had a little problems there at one point in particular, where I pushed toward his harvester, and I wasn't paying attention, and I wasn't building units. I was too busy micromanaging, and I needed to be doing building at the same time that I was micromanaging. That was very poor on my part. But hopefully that tactic with the riflemen, knowing, GDI, watch out for infantry, not watch out for vehicles, that could be very important for a lot of you people that worry more about rushes. Anyway, I'm going to call that for now. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys have anything you want me to show on this channel, specific games, let me know. I will show it. I will review it. I will critique. Or, I'll say, hey, that was great. I'll say, hey, this is where you need some work to improve on your gameplay. Do what I can. I'm not the best. There's so much better out there than me. But hopefully I can help you guys. And if you have any questions for me, ask me in the comments. And a lot of those questions, if it's not something I feel that's video worthy, I might just answer it in the comments. I will answer it. But some of them I will answer in these videos. So if you guys, a unit you want to deal with, I'll show you how I deal with that unit. Any problems you're having, any army design issues, any map questions, anything at all, please ask. I'm in the Discord as well. You can ask me there. And there's developers that I actually talk to on the Discord. Anyone can talk to them on the Discord right now. But if you guys have questions about anything, I can even ask them. I can find out for you guys what's going on. Get you the lowdown. Let you know those tips and tricks and get your ranks going up. Anyway, ciao. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe or at least hit that like button for me. Thanks, guys.